Last night, steps were taken to move forward with medical marijuana in the Commonwealth. We will tell you more about the bill. House Democrats continue to ramp up investigation into President Trump's administration and business dealings. And we take you to a tragic story about a church fire, but not everything was destroyed. We'll tell you more about it.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:31 on March the 7th. It is a Thursday, which means the weekend is on the horizon. I'm Will Puckett, and thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning. You know who else is here is Brandon Robinson, standing at the ready for anything weather that's happening. And Brandon, there's a little bit of blue on radar this morning. Not going to cause many problems, or is not expected to, rather. But tomorrow we could be looking at a little something going on, right?
Especially in those northern counties. We're keeping a very close eye on those. Mountain Parkway, I-64, and just south of that. So we're going to watch that, and I'll track that for you here in a little bit. But let's get into current conditions first. Live pinpoint Doppler radar here at 6:31, and you can see a little bit of blue trying to show up, but I've not seen any reports that it might be some just moisture in the atmosphere. I'm sure maybe a few flakes flying, but again, we're keeping an eye out for you. US 119 up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. Things are fairly quiet up there this morning. Snow melted yesterday. 21 Ashland, 23 Moorhead, all the way to 32 in Jacksboro. So a pretty good range there. So if you're getting out and about this morning, make sure you give yourself time to scrape those cars off, a couple extra minutes, because it's going to stay cold for a little while, but it's not as cold as it has been. 41 a daytime high later on. I'll talk about that extended forecast coming up here in a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, parents and school leaders in southern Kentucky are being warned about a new kind of e-cigarette. The Williamsburg police chief says the vapes are in colorful packaging, appealing to kids, but are packaged with the ingredients found in illegal drugs. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke with police who say the vapes can quickly put kids in the hospital.
Not a gateway drug, marijuana.
Yes, that is the name commonly found on a package of candy.
This one here is it's called Skittles.
But police say there's nothing sweet about the sensation should a child take this.
It causes psychotic episodes. It causes severe panic attacks. It can make you very sick.
These are vapes, also known as e-cigarettes. Each of these are legal in California and some other states, but not in Kentucky. They contain a lot of the key ingredient that's found in marijuana that makes you high.
These particular ones I'm looking at go from 90% all the way up to 93% THC.
Williamsburg police say kids were openly talking about the vapes on social media. Those conversations led police to King Mountain Spur Road, where 2 people were arrested, and a lot of vapes, marijuana, and cash were seized.
They have told us that these vapes have been distributed and that kids are using these in our high schools.
People are saying kids are openly vaping on school grounds, and what's troubling, you can't tell if they're vaping nicotine or something that's a lot more dangerous.
Because when you vape the marijuana, it doesn't put off a marijuana odor.
So the only way to detect the marijuana vapes is by behavior or a drug dog.
If I saw my child with a vape, I'd be concerned.
In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, the Williamsburg school superintendent says they are talking with their students about the possible dangers of the e-cigarettes. Meanwhile, a major step forward for medical marijuana in Kentucky. Last night, a bill passing through a House committee is the farthest to ever make it in Kentucky. It legalizes medical marijuana grown, processed, and dispensed here in the Commonwealth to Kentuckians, recommended by Kentucky doctors. Lawmakers went late into the night debating the bill.
I still have concerns, and I think those concerns need to be addressed. But I'm not moving the target on you. I think you did good work, and you got where I think the bill is much better.
Now, Governor Bevin has said in the past that he would support medical marijuana legislation, depending on the wording of the bill. Well, it was a heated exchange in Breathitt County yesterday morning that led law enforcement officials to separate 2 county employees. The incident happened a short time after a fiscal court meeting, moments after the magistrates were served a lawsuit, which was created by the county judge executive's attorney. The magistrates have been voting down the judge executive's nominee for the county road supervisor position. They formed their own committee to handle those responsibilities as a way of saving money. Judge Executive Jeff Noble's attorney points to the recent flooding and the damage that came with it as a reason why the position is so crucial.
They seem to feel that they can cut costs by cutting out a department head of one of the biggest and most essential departments that affects the lives of everyone in this county.
The magistrates argue the county does not have enough money to pay the $55,000 salary of the position. However, the judge executive says the salary is the same as it has been for past supervisors. Now, the president's former fixer is on Capitol Hill for a 5th day as House Democrats continue to ramp up investigations into his administration and business dealings. Pressure from new congressional investigations is mounting as the president's former personal attorney Michael Cohen returned to Capitol Hill for another closed-door session with lawmakers. Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler requested documents from 81 people and entities following last week's public testimony from Cohen.
We put out a statement and called Chairman Nadler's absurd and abusive fishing expedition exactly what it is.
Experts say both sides may end up in court in a fight over access to those documents. Meanwhile, Family Dollar plans to close hundreds of stores this year. The discount retailer announced yesterday it is closing 390 stores in 2019. That's on top of the more than 120 locations it closed last year. It will also rebrand around 20 stores as Dollar Tree stores this year. Family Dollar is hoping the new store model will increase sales and traffic in its stores. Well, a large American factory stopped production yesterday after more than half a century. 1,600 workers at the General Motors plant in Lordstown, Ohio are affected. More than 3,300 hourly workers will be laid off indefinitely. That's 7% of General Motors' approximately 50,000 hourly employees nationwide. Aaron Applegate brought his wife Jean Ann and his 4 children here 11 years ago after his employer in Indiana shut down.
Parts of me are very bitter. What makes you bitter is the fact that they're making profit year after year after year now, and we're not seeing that back.
The cuts come as the automaker is reporting a near record $12 billion profit last year. There was a brief rally in the parking lot outside the plant yesterday afternoon, and then everyone went on their separate ways. Well, a West Virginia congregation is mourning the loss of their church, devastated by fire on Sunday morning. The church will have to rebuild, and the damage was evident once firefighters sifted through the ashes. However, not everything in the church went up in flames. Amazingly, not a single Bible or cross was burned. As one Coal City firefighter put it, the odds were against us, God was not. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Well, more than 500 doses of heroin, cocaine, and crystal meth were seized in Wayne County Tuesday night. 3 men are facing drug charges as a result. They were arrested during 2 separate investigations. The Wayne County Sheriff Drug Enforcement Unit arrested John Cole and Cody Endicott. In the second investigation, the DEU arrested Stephen Hampton. Investigators seized a large quantity of crystal meth and a distribution quantity of heroin. Well, WSGS Radio and Hazard takes us back in time to March 5th, 1960, when the 55th District Championship game was played. Listen to this recording.
Good evening, everybody. This is Ernest Parkman along with Jerry Yarbrough speaking to you from Hindman, Kentucky. And we're all set, ready to bring you action again tonight in the final championship game.
The tape was discovered recently in Phoenix City, Alabama by announcer Jerry Yarbrough's daughter, Kim. Not knowing what was on the tape, she sent it in to WSGS, hoping they would find interest. This 59-year-old recording is hard to come by. Those working at the radio station say it was really quite a treat.
But back then, the color announcer who added the commercials did all of them from the game, from the scene, read the copy live from the game with the crowd in the background. That was unique.
Now, for those history lovers interested in hearing the entire recording, just head on over to our website at WYMT.com. Well, it's 6:39. Brandon looks like he's got ants in his pants. Let's toss it over to him. He's ready to bring you that forecast.
You, sir, are always have something. So let's go on over to the WYMT studio camera and a little bit of a sunrise as we head out the door this morning. Don't get too used to it because those clouds are going to continue to increase as we head to the daytime hours. Temperatures getting a little bit more decent. 25 now in Morehead. Went up from 21 in the last few minutes. 30 back down there in Jacksboro. Again, 20s across most of the region this morning. But it is warmer than it was yesterday. We can say that anyway. 22, not as cold this morning. Stray shower possible this afternoon. And we'll see the possibility for some light snow, especially in those northern counties tonight as a winter weather advisory kicks into effect later on. Will?
All righty, we're building up to the big finish. We will have stories trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Well, most people know not to let small children hold the leash while walking strong dogs, but apparently we should be watching out for grandma too. And we tell you about a Leslie County teen who is gearing up to fly an airplane on his own. More on that straight ahead.